Welcome to Beyond Mindset Limits with Tisha Marie Cain. Here, we explore how unlocking your mindset can pave the way for unlimited success. Discover how to create opportunities through legal challenges and transform your business and life with effective public relations strategies. Get ready to elevate your journey and maximize your potential. Now, let's welcome your host, Tisha Marie Cain.
Welcome to Beyond Mindset Limits. We have got an amazing show for you guys today. I'm so glad you're here. We are challenging conventional thinking, expanding our conversations, and exploring what becomes possible when we reclaim the authority of our own minds, our own bodies, and our own spiritual awareness. And today, we have got an amazing guest, Amanda Jane DeMarco. She's publicly known as IndigoAngel, so you guys are going to need to follow her. She is a higher consciousness teacher. She's an author. She's a planetary gridwork facilitator, spiritual researcher, and the founder of IndigoAngel 222. She's a global educational platform, and she is devoted to planetary stewardship, ascension sciences, consciousness expansion, multi-dimensional teachings. That's how I found her about 4 years ago. It was amazing. So from more than a decade, IndigoAngel has shared her research, her personal experiences, her spiritual transformations, her teachings through her writings, her courses, her videos. I mean, she's got a whole platform to be able to help you raise your consciousness and be able to see what's real for you. She's the author of How to Read Your Celestial Akashic Starseed Origins, which is a whole mouthful. And she's the creator of the Gridwork Facilitator Training Series, the author of the Guardian Alliance Gridwork and the New Earth Prophecy. But today's conversation, it reaches beyond titles, beyond terminology, and beyond spiritual theories. We're talking about spiritual sovereignty with Amanda today. We are exploring what happens when we give another person or another teacher or another guru or another personality permission to interpret our reality for us. And you guys know me. This is Tisha Marie Cain with Beyond Mindset Limits. We do not do that. We have spiritual sovereignty, and I have just the perfect guest for you today. So thank you, IndigoAngel. Thank you, and welcome to my show.
Wow, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, that intro was fabulous. It was on point. It was just amazing. And it was just so shifting of the frequency. So thanks for bringing us up, up, up. Oh
yes. Thank you. Yeah. And I was guided to you. I saw you last week. You had you have your own YouTube platform, and you really are a teacher, and you were on there and you had the energy coming through. And we were talking about the moon last week, and I was like, this girl is on fire. And just to be completely transparent, some of the words that you were saying, I didn't comprehend in my brain, but I felt them in my body. Like I knew what my truth was. So your message began with the defense of the moon, but it quickly became a conversation about spiritual sovereignty. What does spiritual sovereignty mean to you?
Good question. So it's such an important thing at this time, as we're really working through the thick of the disclosure narratives. And, I think there is a rolling or a wave that's unfolding where people are really going like, where do I stand in my own beliefs? Do I believe this? Do I not believe this? And this brings forward the matter of sovereignty and your consciousness and your authority, because it allows one to really see the revelation within themselves with where they stand, right? And seeing if they have a backbone, seeing if they have the ability to actually take a stand for what it is that they believe, type of thing. So this is something coming forward that it's testing us. It's in testing our integrity, it's in testing our morality, it's testing our consciousness. Do we give in to the consent of these narratives that are just being kind of thrown at us and saying, hey, like this is, kind of like implying like, follow the herd, believe these things, right? And
Mm.
there's a lot of trickery, there's a lot of imposters, there's a lot of psyops. You might be waking up for the first time to a lot of this stuff going like, oh my gosh, like the whole consciousness sphere is booby trapped.
Yes. Isn't
It's
that
it's
true?
it's
It's
booby
booby
trapped.
trapped.
Yeah. Oh, and it's weaponized against us. And there's industry plants that are actually placed inside of our tight-knit communities, and they are there to function and operate the perceptions of those ascension programs, and they interpret the reality for people. This is the middleman. So the middleman comes in that stands between you and your connection with God, your psychic connection that you have to develop spiritually, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is kind of another big thing that happens when you awaken. Like you realize, like, oh, I have these gifts, I have these abilities. And now I gotta turn that switch back on that I turned off when I was a child because I got sucked into the artificial dark black fallen matrix, okay, and sent me into a wormhole, to the dark side,
Gosh, I
basically.
know that. Yes.
Yeah, making you believe through the religious dogma and the programming and the Templar structures and the J seals and the Draco seals and all the seals that they place in your body. That was basically what was happening to you that made you turn off. You
Mm-hmm.
got plugged into all these things that shut you down, shut you down, shut you down. And then you carried it energetically as living consciousness, holographically as blockages in your body. And then you have to
Mm.
wake up to that whole thing, start unplugging, clearing, dissolving, collapsing it down, extracting it. I do not consent. I do not consent. I rebuke this. Okay. And then, this is what reclaims that sovereignty. This is where you start realizing, okay, now that I have the capacity to clear my own field of this trickery and these implants, these
Yes.
weapon systems designed against me, I can say I'm a sovereign being. And you
Mm.
have to stand on guard from that. You have to protect that. Literally have to fight for that every single day. It's not something that you just get to go to sleep and sleep like a little lamb. We want to. We want to be safe. We want to be in our soft energies. But I think many of us are waking up to the fact that there's a whole spiritual warfare playing out on these
Holy
planes, on these
smokes.
realms,
Holy
right?
smokes. Yes.
Yeah.
And waking up to that, like really being conscious and being intentional. Like I have to put white light orbs around my family. We're in the center of in Lake Las Vegas. And so like when we go out in the community with all of the entities and all of the people, it's just like I wrap us in a white light orb just to protect us from all of that and give me eyes to see so that I can see like, oh, damn, I could see you. Oh, yes, I can see you. I'm not affected, but I've been given eyes to see. So I'm wrapping us up and cloaking us up and being very intentional when I go in these heavy
Hmm.
places that have energies that I don't resonate with, right? And
Yeah.
it's so symbolic, it's so simple. I'm trying to break it down for our listeners today, but man, you
But
know.
that's what sovereignty is you
Mm.
saying that I actually have the ability to set shields around myself and my loved one in a place that we know that we are not energetically safe here. And I have the authority to do that. I have the authority to protect myself.
Ah, oh
Right?
my
Like,
God.
right?
I just had
Right?
full body chills. Yes.
Well, we're all tired of carrying around these victimizer programs. We're tired of it. The prey versus predator, all these things. The, uh the handler, the handled. I mean, there's so many ways this can be defined, but we're tired of it.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a call coming in, it seems.
Looks like. Oh yeah. You know what? Because we just steered at, I think that one's you, but we just
I
steered
don't
at
know.
the
I don't think it's me. Nothing's coming in on my end. I'm
no?
looking at my phone. Nothing.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. We'll just let it because I think because nothing's coming in over here either, but I think your and my energy is like uh steering up the atmosphere to
Yeah,
okay.
no, I feel it. It's high
Yeah,
electrical energy, and it would make sense that there would be some interference coming
it
in.
would make sense. I do that
Um,
too with
but it's still ringing. So hang on. Let's see what
okay.
it.
Let's take a moment. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It was coming in on my end and I have all of that shut off. Isn't that funny?
Wow, okay.
Wow. Okay. So let's keep going. So we're on the right
Well, wonder
track.
who that caller was because, maybe their ears were ringing.
Okay. I love this. And you know what, Indigo Angel, you know what I love about you is you send us back home. Like you give us the tools and you send us back home. I'm in the coaching business too, and I've found so many coaches that aren't clean, that they think things are outside of them. And it's like, as a coach, I send you back to you. You have the discernment. You have the psychic abilities. Those were just turned off with all these seals throughout all the trauma grid lines that you had to live through your whole entire life. And once you know that you have that authority to clean and clear, and then you take back sovereignty, woo, magic, right?
It's so magical. It's so magical. I can tell you, I will not even work with someone as a client if I get the sense that their field is not semi-strong. Okay. If they have a
Mm.
lot of holes in their field, if they have a lot, like an abundance of spiritual warfare going on, and I can noticeably see that they're spiraling into a victimizer state of mind, and they're not really taking authority, right, for what's going on when there's like multiple attachments to artificial and false programs and things like this. Um, you can start to, it becomes crystal clear, right? When
Mm.
you're carrying sovereignty within yourself. And so I'm not afraid anymore to say, hey, I will work with you, but there are some things you need to do first. You actually need to
Mhm.
maybe take a few days. You need to seal your own field. You need to call back in your sovereign parts, your fragmented parts. And if you notice you're getting consistent interference throughout the day, that you feel like it's taking your power, you feel like you can't do it, I want you in that moment to say, I do not consent to this infiltration at this moment. And you have to do it every single time you see it and hear it and feel it come into your field. Push it away, push it away, push it away. I'm reclaiming my consciousness. I'm reclaiming my authority. Um, if they say things like, their heart chakra has been displaced and things like this, when there's no autonomy over their energy system and things like this, I will say, yeah, simply you need to do some things before you come back and work with me because I want this energy work that we do together to stick, to actually make a difference
Mm.
for you, to actually work. That you're not
Mm.
coming back, repeat, 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 that you're learning to master your own energy field. And so that requires you to first have the consciousness that you have to take authority over it. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And so that's good with me. That's okay with me. You go work on that, you come back. I'll assess, are we ready to work together now? If we are, we'll move forward. If we're not, I'll redirect you back. Go
Yeah,
work on
because
this some more.
isn't it go time? It's go freaking time. Like if we haven't been any more time right now, it's like we must do the work to propel us forward. And if you're not doing the work, what the heck are we doing? Like, let's get on board, people. Like I think about how I was going through the family court and it was all perfect because I ran into law school to figure out the American government system to become an attorney and all this stuff. And they tried to take my voice. And then when I got my voice back, then I was noticing how, oh, okay, not only do I have my voice, but then I'm a voice for everyone else. And then, oh, okay, hence my own radio show to give everyone else a voice. And then I saw all of this happening, but it really is that simple. Like you said, just I don't consent. Nope, don't consent. And then really take back that internal power back to yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to protect it. Don't be afraid to defend it. Don't allow your empathy to become weaponized against you. And this is the thing with upgrading your heart chakra. So it sounds like you got the experience and your heart chakra got bigger and you actually got wisdom. And so you were leveled up. You were leveled up again. And this is what happens for people when they actually do the work, right? They
Mm-hmm.
continue to see that inner growth within themselves and they can take on more. They have the capacity for more. And then you're actually initiated by the divine to,
Mm.
yeah, be the one that assists, kind of being the bridge that can, bring people up to your level, but we're never coming down to theirs. If
No.
we come down to theirs, we're going to be, that's not going to do us any good. How are we supposed to maintain that? Do you see what I'm saying? So people have to rise to meet us where we are.
Yeah.
And that's, we can't, feel weakness within that when, we present that basically. So it's a lot, but it's really the way that things work. And then as your heart chakra levels up, you start to be able to actually limit the limitations of the heart. So the human heart does have limitations, right? It has things that it's difficult for it to overcome. Things like desire, right? Things like your emotional body, mastery of your emotional body. Um, the heart will throw itself into danger and sacrifice its own free will um, just because it feels bad for someone else or something.
Oh, I know.
Right. So we have to upgrade the heart shields and we have to turn on our angelic heart because the angelic heart comes from a super loving place, but it is not willing to lay down the laws that were presented for us, like divine law, the Emerald Covenant orders, and the Diamond Covenant orders, and things like this, things that actually protect creation. So we level up to that angelic heart, okay? And then now you're realizing like if you dance down here, you're really not going to be able to maintain that higher plane of purification. Because once you start getting sovereignty, you can't keep going higher unless you start really transforming through deeper levels of purification on a soul
Ooh.
level, on a heart level, on a physical level, mental level, emotional level, all the levels.
I
So,
comprehend that. Yeah, I
yeah.
remember like I remember saying like on the lower levels, like I have to do this for, or I get to, not have to, but I get to do this forgiveness work around my kids' fathers, like because I was like, no one's going to make me sick, right? And I'm here for a bigger mission. I'm here for a bigger quest, and that they know not what they do. So I'm going to send you light and love, all the things. I forgive you. And it was that moment that I freed myself from those lower levels of dense energy that I'm like, oh no, honey, you're you're forgiven. So I can soar. And it was that moment that I was just like, okay, what's next? Right? That purification in that forgiveness level.
Yeah, that's amazing. You pulled the hooks out.
Is that what
Like
that
you're
is?
like, nope. Oh yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you were definitely hooked there with that, right? Because until
Mm.
you had that realization that it's just that's what everything is within us. It's just a frequency shift. That's what forgiveness is. It's just your inner essence and energy is shifting now to a less dense frequency,
Yeah.
right? Like, and it allows movement. It allows us to actually transcend the density layers and jump timelines, even jump Earth realms and things like this. We can go from a 3D Earth to a six-dimensional Earth or something like that, just in that instance of frequency shift. Like,
Mm.
I mean, it's actually so simple. It's
It is so simple. Like when I'm looking at you and I'm like, yes, this is so simple. And that, and I map it across to this is why I don't enjoy food. Like I didn't come here to experience food because every time I eat food, it's really dense. I much rather drink a smoothie or have some fresh fruit, or it's like I didn't come here to experience food. But my husband did. You know, he came here like, I'm going to be experiencing all the meat and all that. I'm like, no, I cannot, I'd be okay with it because I want to fly higher and be lighter and be able to tap into frequencies because those lower dense food energies bring me down, you know?
oh yeah, definitely. And that can be a difficult conversation to have because it's, there's so much stigma around the whole vegan, vegetarian,
Yeah.
meat eater realm. And I think what's so important for everyone to understand is that we're actually going through a collective transformation with our relationship with food right now because of the ascension that's happening on the planet.
Okay. Then that explains it. Tell me
Yes,
more.
yes,
Tell me more.
yes, yes. Okay. Well, that purification is coming through, right? And we're starting to retain more of our records from Earth, pre-fall Earth, the memory from pre-fall Earth. So before there was a fall of man, before there was all these things that took us down in these densities, and we really walked on the Earth embodied in our angelic consciousness. And so everything was based off coherence. Everything was based off of reciprocity. Everything was based off of unconditional love. Everything was really in a space of wholeness. And we never actually seen the need to harm another living consciousness to consume energy, right? It was based off that reciprocity. So because of that, what was actually designed for us in the Edenic Earth template, because that's what the pre-fall Earth was, it was a state of Eden, that the fruits, it was about fruits and it was about vegetables. It was about like, consuming the photonic solar light brought into food. That's basically what fruit is. And it's perfectly designed for our bodies. It's perfectly mineralized. I mean, you didn't even need to drink water because you're just being hydrated consistently off of the fruits. And with that, people will say, well, if you take the fruit from the plant, then you're harming the plant. Not with fruits, because that's what a fruit is. It's like the plant's basically saying enough, that I have enough to provide, that I have extra that you can take from me that won't harm me. And I'll keep creating more and more and
Producing.
more. Yes. So that was the Edenic template. And, this was in these timelines, I believe, when we went into the Hyperborean era. I mean, in Tartaria, there was this whole breatharian way that you
Yes.
survived. And so you basically just consumed food from breath and from light, which is actually living, healing food. It's very healing. If you were to consume breath as food, if you're trying to heal from an illness or a sickness or a disease, you will heal that disease like 50 times faster, because there's literally like nutrition that you're strategically bringing into the body to the places that it's holding on to the degradation or to the pain body. Usually there's a pain body that's attached to the sick places, or, regret, sorrow, all these things, right? You're integrating so much light into that space that it will heal your ailments so much quicker. And so, yeah, that was a way of food at one time. And then also the fruitarian, that's the true Edenic template. But a lot of people do actually, I think, realize this.
Yeah.
But it's that you are so programmed throughout your life to consume food the other way. You're programmed to look for a very heavy feeling after you consume food. A
Mm.
feeling of like, I feel so full, I feel so good, I feel so like I gotta go lay down. That's that's the consumerism mindset. That's the overconsumption of resources. It's the I'm gonna eat this chicken. Why? Well, what the feeling is you get after that is you get the feeling of domination. That is a reptilian energetic frequency and structure that's connected to your reptilian body. So
Gosh.
you have to start breaking down all of the programming to get to the root of it. Yes.
You're a
Yes.
genius. Oh my gosh, Indigo Angel. I mean, that just unlocks so much for me. So I'm wondering if, like, when I go to bed at night, I have to have something in my tummy, whether it be nuts or berries or something. Like, I must, but I lucid dream a lot too. So that food keeps me in my body. I'm wondering if I have to unravel some fear around like dying in my sleep or something. So the food has to be there to be able to make sure I stay in my body and I don't release or whatever. But
Yeah.
all of that conversation just happened for me because of this. This is so good. So
Yeah.
good.
Well, it's helping us all go through the transformation, because it is difficult to go from the way you used to eat and looking for in like you said, like I have to eat the food to keep myself in the body. So it's something that you're holding on to. It is somewhat of a programming. It is connected to the ego in a way, because, well, the ego serves a purpose as well. A lot of people weaponize the ego against others when they're trying to harm them through the empath and narcissist plugs and implants and things like this. But the ego does serve a purpose, and it is ultimately to keep you alive.
Right.
Okay. So
So we need it a little bit. We need it a little bit.
you need it a little bit. And it's probably the fear of that that's saying if you don't eat this and the spirit somehow separates from the body, it's afraid that it's not going to come back. So the fear is coming from, somewhat of a legitimate place, but this is where freedom and expression in your spirituality comes in as well, because it's also about experimentation, experimenting with your spirit and soul, and putting the body through spaces of transformation to be able to achieve new height and levels. So if you were to actually withhold food, I mean, I think a lot of the super ascended rishis, they can go 40 days without food.
Yes, I know.
Okay, where do you think their spirit's going?
Where are they going? Maybe they're next on my show so we can figure this out together.
Are you a business owner, entrepreneur, author, creative, or visionary with a message the world needs to hear? Tisha Marie Cain is a publisher, publicist, international best-selling author, and radio show host who uses her creative genius to help people gain more visibility for their name, business, and brand. Through her publishing, publicity, and media platforms, Tisha helps purpose-driven entrepreneurs become seen, heard, and noticed in a powerful and professional way. One of the ways she helps her clients grow is by turning their expertise, story, or signature method into what she calls a tiny book, a small, powerful published book that can position them as an authority, attract aligned clients, and create a cash injection into their business. A tiny book is more than a lead magnet. It is a brand asset. It can open doors, build trust, create new opportunities, and give potential clients a meaningful first step into your world. Tisha also hosts a weekly radio show where she spotlights entrepreneurs, leaders, creatives, and business owners who are doing meaningful work and are ready to share their message with a larger audience. Her mission is simple: to help people grow together through story, strategy, publishing, publicity, and visibility. When you work with Tisha, you are not just getting a publisher or a publicist. You are getting someone who understands how to shape your message, elevate your presence, and help your brand stand out with credibility and confidence. If you are ready to grow your visibility, share your story, promote your business, or explore how a tiny book can create a new revenue stream for your brand, Tisha Marie Cain would love to connect with you. Visit tishamariecain.com to learn more, request a conversation, or inquire about being featured on her radio show. Your story deserves to be seen. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your brand deserves to be noticed. Connect with Tisha Marie Cain today at www.tishamariecain.com. Let's grow together.
Did you know that most people spend thousands more than they need to on legal services, simply because they do not know they have options? The truth is, the right legal support can save you time, money, and unnecessary stress. At Cain's Legal Support, we have spent over 22 years helping individuals and families navigate the legal system with confidence, without the overwhelm and without the inflated costs. Whether you are facing a divorce, custody battles, landlord-tenant issues, civil or criminal matters, or even small claims, we are here to guide you every step of the way. We specialize in document preparation, private mediation, and personalized legal support, giving you the tools you need to move forward with clarity and control. And we do not stop there. From notary services to wedding officiating, Cain's Legal Support is your full-service legal concierge, because your life does not fit in a box, and your legal support should not either. If you are ready for legal guidance that actually works for you, visit cainslegalsupport.com today. Justice for all, give us a call. That is cainslegalsupport.com.
Interdimensionals and the extraterrestrials and all of the angelic realms, and like you do. Can we do this? Can we do this?
Well, I think it starts with the first simple thing, which is stop believing that you can't.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Basic.
It's like the very first thing, like, has to go out the window. You have to cut that cord. Like, it's gonna disable you from being able to have that direct connection. And you want to know that your gnosis yourself is as good as gold, that what you are perceiving and what you're getting from the divine is real, it's authentic, it's meant for you. There's not any there's not any living thing on this earth that doesn't have a connection to source.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's just that these are the part of the weapons and the veils and the implants and all the stuff that is, booby trapped.
Yeah.
And, we fall into like time locks with our beliefs and with thinking that we can't. And it starts to create kind of like a misty field around you, and then kind of like a shadowy field around you, and then kind of like a foggy field around you. I mean, these are different layers of realities that you kind of live through before you can kind of get to the space of clarity.
Yeah.
Right. And so you have to like fight through some of that, but you have to reinforce the belief yourself, because there's no one coming to teach you about how to manage this really at the core. You just have to decide one day that I'm going to try. For some people, they have to work at it. You have to develop your psychic abilities.
Yes.
Okay. It's just, I had to do it. I did it. I devoted myself to it for a good 5 years, just creating my own mantras of things that I needed to clear within myself. Um, Recognizing where my weaknesses were, listening to my criticisms and my critics. What are they saying that I need to get better at? What am I also seeing that I need to get better at? Develop something for myself. Like, you're smart enough to do this.
Yeah,
You really, we all are.
we
It's just
all
that
are.
how bad do you want to work on yourself?
Yes. Like,
Yeah,
how bad do
right?
you want it? Like, I mean, that's sexy. Like, how bad? Because I guess in my projection field right now, I see a lot of damn lazy people. I'm like, you're lazy. You're not, you're distracted. You're scrolling. I get on social media, I post them out. I don't consume, right? So it's like, how can you look at your screen time, right? You got 12 hours of screen time. Shut that down. How bad do you want to work on your psychic ability? And for me, I asked for it. And I want to run this by you because you're such a teacher. And I said, I went out and I served in an eviction to a family in California. And I was like so empathic and so sad because they had children and they were being evicted from this home. Well, I got back in my car and all of a sudden I was asking God, divine source, prime creator, I'm like, what is going on with this family? I need to understand, need to comprehend this poor family. And I didn't have the comprehension up until the night before. And I watched this movie on Netflix called Demsel. Have you seen it?
Mm. No,
Uh,
I haven't, but
okay, so
I think I've seen it, like looking at it, but I
looking
haven't.
at it, yeah. So it's about the dragons and royalty, and she gets
Mm.
thrown in the dragon, and the dragon, like, what did it do? It burned her leg, and she fell asleep, and these glow slugs went up to her leg and started healing her leg. But she woke up and she was scared, and she took the glow slugs and threw them off of her, and then she realized that they were actually there to help her. So it's a great movie. Watch it, but we'll watch it from a documentary type view, right? So all of a sudden I'm trying to develop my psychic ability and I'm asking God, I'm like, what is happening to this family? If there was any messenger to serve an eviction notice, I'm glad it was me because I was able to let it land softly, right? But when I left, I was like, what's happening to this family? And all of a sudden, my sight was taken, my hearing was taken. I almost crashed my car. And then I got the picture of the glow slugs from the movie before. And then God said energetic parasites, J seals, like all the stuff. And then I understood that they've had so much parasites on them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, now I comprehend what was happening. But I didn't have that before I asked. Is that as simple as it gets to be?
I really do believe so. Yes. I mean, we have a direct dialogue with Source, the divine creator. We have a direct dialogue with really any spirit or being or entity that you want to feel that, right? Okay. I don't highly recommend just talking to anything unless you feel confident or comfortable or that, that's the right thing to do at that time type of thing. But that your direct connection should ultimately be with source, that you can ask the questions directly. You can speak to your
Mm.
angels. You can speak to the guardians. You can speak to the representatives that protect the divine law. The dragons are some beings that protect the divine law. They protect many sacred, spiritual, holographic artifacts, such as the 13 crystal skulls. They protect the Emerald Covenant records, like the actual disc, the CDT plates. I mean, they're protecting the angelic kingdoms themselves and the Seraphi and Elohim temples. So I mean, these are beings that you can communicate with, and it is simple as just opening up the dialogue. For some people, okay, they might have only some of their senses on. Like for most people, they're just simply, they can recognize that they're clairsentient. This is what I
Yes.
feel a lot. And then, the claircognition is kind of developed. The clairauditory is then developed. And then your clairvoyance is often the last thing to be kind of recognized and developed. So it is kind of like a process, I think, of understanding how the psychic realm is communicating with you, recognizing those signals as they're coming in. Are they coming in as pulses? Are they coming in as, okay, I feel something in my body and now I need to interpret that message because now I'm getting an image that's coming in with that feeling? I mean, it's really just about slowing it down and how
Mm.
am I processing that? And for every person, it's different, but start writing it down.
Mm.
How is this? What happened to me when I had that vision come in? What happened to my total field? What were my awarenesses, my senses, my frequency, my energy, my emotions? It will start to present that picture to you. And you'll be able to interpret it all the time. You'll be able to. One thing that helped me the most was practicing an opening process, to giving myself permission to read. One thing I find is that when we are so used to shutting off our psychic gifts, is that we don't give ourselves permission to be in that energy, especially if we're around other people who are not open to the energy. And you have to actually shut that down to be around them, such as like spouses. Okay, this is a
Yes,
big complaint
yes.
for a lot of people. My husband shuts me down. He's not a spiritually involved, blah, 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 blah.
Right,
You
right.
know, so we do coexist with people that don't really allow the space for it. So, recognizing that that's also playing out and giving yourself an environment where you can open up to these energies, that it's safe, that you're not going to be shut down, that you can go into the energies, you can open your field. So I like to do a simple opening where I just breathe and I just reach into each consciousness body through my breath, my physical body, my mental body, my emotional body, my spirit body, my astral body, my auric body, my causal body, my holographic body, my angelic body, my Christic body, my Buddhic body, my nirvana body, my blissful body. Activate, 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 open, 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 expand, expand, expand. Inhale, exhale, and really do that. Open it,
Mm, I felt that already. Yeah.
right? Yeah, so be careful if you do it because we're gonna start going into like la la land.
Ooh,
We'll
I
be in
know.
galactic realm before we know it. But that's so you have to, and it's okay to do these processes. This doesn't mean you're not psychic. That means that you're properly preparing. You're prepared to do it. And this allows you to flourish in the space. And I find it's so helpful. It really truly is.
Yeah, and someone who's not like my husband has given me the freedom to grow, otherwise I would have outgrown him, right? And he has done a couple of mushroom journeys to open up his consciousness to realize, oh, we're all one. Okay, if I hurt somebody, I'm actually hurting me. It was so beautiful and divine to watch. And what I have to do is create spaces where I have alone time. I need like an hour in the morning in my epic morning routine where I'm in my own energy, able to concentrate and shut my mouth because I'm good at using my words, just shut my mouth and just listen and allow for that. So thank you for that gift of creating an opening to connect in with even the representatives. Like I knew that as I was going through the family court, like I subpoenaed everybody. I subpoenaed Jesus Christ and I subpoenaed my guardian angels to everyone to be there in the court, and they were. And I think I get to do that also, like on a daily practice, like be able to create an opening to tap in and not have anybody in between me and the divine.
Exactly. That brings us back to the beginning of what we're talking about, is this is about sovereignty. You don't need anybody to interpret reality for you.
Hmm. Say that
I,
again. Say
you,
that again.
you don't need anybody to interpret reality for you, right? This is
Hmm.
about trusting your interpretation. And then you realize that the consciousness war is over who gets to interpret reality and who doesn't. I
Right.
mean, that's what we're battling, on a lot of levels, and acknowledgement. And I think a lot of people want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to have a voice, they want to have a say, they want to have a perception too that matters. We all do. We all want to be, um, know that our perception makes sense. And I think we get that in small doses when we are willing to share what we sense and what we realize in our reality with others. We're willing to share that and relinquish that fear, push back the throat chakra blockages, you know, whatever it is, and just be more fearless. Again,
Hmm.
that sovereignty goes back into like, are you willing to speak what you believe?
Right.
You believe this so much. Do you know this like with the gut of your truth that this is the truth? And are you willing to like fight for that? Because I
Right.
think we're at a point in the collective where we absolutely need to. The disclosure movement, the narratives around the secret space program, the forced breeder programs, the hybrid programs, the cloning programs. Okay, we're at a point that enough's enough. No means no. And we're tired of it. We're tired of being
Hmm.
all these things done to our biological tissues, the medical tyranny system, the artificial
All of
foods
it.
we're being given. We're
All of
we're
it.
just ready to step up and be a little bit more. We tried the nice girl era. I'll be honest
Yeah.
with you. I tried it for a very long time, and it's not. And I'm saying you can't be nice. You should be nice. We should be kind. We should reciprocate energy to according to what's being given to us, really.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
reciprocity. And, I say, I will fight you. I will fight you for what I believe in my core. However, I'm a peaceful, loving person. I will love you. Don't be projecting all over me and you keep your trash over there, but I will fight. Like I'm ready to go all the way. And I think that's why I magnetize, my clients and stuff, because they don't have that drive,
The
the
backbone.
backbone. Right. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no, follow me, not to follow me, but emulate what I'm doing. You could do this too. Let's get the power behind it. Let's get what do you believe in and go hard at that, because now is the time to really take back control for everything that we believe in and harness the moon. And that's what we open this with, is like knowing that moon is so freaking, my baby, he's 11. And I tell you, Indigo Angel, this child 3 days before the full moon, he is out of control. He is out of control. It's almost like, we don't use corporal punishment, but it's like belts on butt. You better get your little butt in order, right? But he's so tapped into the moon. So when people say these false narratives that the moon is fake and blah, 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 I was like, what? Are you kidding me? It's a felt sense. It's like, it's a feeling of discernment within my body, right? And tell me more. Tell me more.
Yes. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, and then they want you to go against that feeling and that discernment that
Yes.
comes innately and first. They want you to question that. They're creating separation. And we have to start identifying where false ascension is coming through. I think this
Great.
is something we're just all actually waking up to more and more. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't fault anybody
Yeah.
for falling into some of these
Traps, booby
looping
traps.
patterns, traps, booby pattern. Like, yeah, it happens, and we then change our perspective. We change it as we get back to what is organic within us, because this is what the whole moon thing is about. Well, for one, it's about the force breeder programs, the Stargate hijacks on the planet, controlling the birth rates. It has everything to do with fertility and control over reproduction. And honestly, this artificial moon theory is really promoted by people who are super soldiers, people in the secret space program, people who are really promoting the Galactic Federation, which is something that I don't agree with that. And they
So the
are
Galactic Federation is different than the Galactic Alliance.
There are different sectors of the galaxy, different conglomerations of
Okay.
groups that are basically organizing galactic politics and things like this, and trying
Oh,
to usher you forward um, ascension narratives, essentially,
I
and
see.
control the ascension timelines,
Okay.
basically.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. And the only thing that I hold true is to the GA, to the Guardian Alliance, is the closest thing to truth that I've ever come into to understand. And so, because it is defending divine law, and it is bringing forward the Christian restoration protocol timelines, and it's really a group of sovereign beings who are God sovereign and free, who are Christos Sophia aligned nations, and those that hold frequency matches with those things, that they're allowed to be a part of the alliance. Essentially, they get to be allowed to be guardians on the planet because they are here to protect the earth. They're here to protect the organic consciousness. That's really what that's ultimately about at a fundamental layer. So,
Well, I want to be part of them.
yeah, okay.
Let's go. I speaking
Hi,
of,
girl.
yeah. It's funny because you'll notice all the books behind me. I'm a deep researcher. I love researching. And I spoke to God, Prime Source. I'm like, where do I come from? I'm like, I'm going to be researching and I'm going to be wasting all of this time and energy and just give it to me. And this was back when I met you 4 years ago. And I woke up and did some automatic writing at 3:33 in the morning. And I wrote the word Lyran. And I thought, where the heck does this word? Like I looked at it on the paper when I woke up in the morning, and then I had to go down, and research more on that. But it was funny how it was just kind of given to me. They're like, okay, Tisha, we know you're just going to be researching. We'll just give it to you. Right. And I wrote it down and I was like, right. And then that opened up more knowledge on where to go. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I started just asking questions. So when you're speaking and you're going down you speak about the relationships to yourself and the divine, the feminine body, that lunar cycle. Why is the relationship so central to the work that you do?
The relationship
With the moon cycles, the lunar cycles, the feminine body, why is that so central? And I know because you're a woman, but like, what is it that, what's the passion within your soul that makes it central to the work that you do?
well, currently it's been my communication with the aquatic guardians.
Ooh,
Yes, yes. So I live down on the Gulf Coast. I live in an extension arm of SS2, which is Stargate 2, which is in Sarasota, Florida. But running through all of Florida are extension arms of the Stargate that run through the Crystal River systems and also through the crystal veins. And it's really the rivers. It is actually the waters that are the extension arms. And but really SS2 governs really from Biloxi, Mississippi, all the way down through Miami, all the way to the other side of Charleston, South Carolina. So, I mean, it's a governing region because the Stargate is a very big energy vortex that sustains biological life forms and multidimensional reality. And it also governs the Gulf waters. And so I've been communing so much with this. I've been working with the mermaids for really extensively one-on-one for quite a few years now. They come up to my house from the ocean and they actually utilize my pool and they teach me things about the water. Um,
wow.
yeah, they're incredible.
That is.
They're amazing. They have a high level communication with the dolphins and the whales. There's a whole aquatic reality underneath the seafloor. I mean, there are lunar stargates. So the lunar stargates were here on the planet before the universal stargate matrix, the solar matrix was here because in the beginning, Earth was only water. And it was really this relationship with the water, the earth, and the moon that made way and actually opened up the portal birthing gate fields for new life to come in and seed. So this started with the lunar stargates that run along the 28-degree high tide and low tide points on the horizontal ley lines and vertical ley lines. And this plugs into an underwater lunar oceanic stargate matrix that they're running spherical vertically and yeah, also on the sea floor. So there's matrices through the waters, there's kingdoms through the waters, there's living consciousness architecture through the waters that a lot of people don't know about this stuff. This is stuff that's, high level psychic seer, remote viewer type stuff is going to get access to these things. I mean, you can get it, but again, you will have to develop those psychic abilities to kind of tune into some of these extensive structures.
Yes.
But I just did a remote view on SS3, which is in the Bermuda. This is a Stargate devastation site, essentially.
Oh.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff with that. And I think the oceans are just really speaking. And, this is where the moon came in. It was July 14th that I channeled the moon directly. I just was sitting in my house and I got this message that said, go channel the moon. And I was like, okay. So
Yeah.
I just did. I went and grabbed my camera because a lot of times I film my channelings and I just set it down and I said, okay, guys, I'm going to channel the moon. This is what's going to come through. And then I just went in and started bringing information in. And it led me into understanding more of that lunar architecture under the waters. And so it's
Wow.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, the moon is bringing all this through. She wants her story to be heard. She wants to understand that she can't help us if we separate from her.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So this is Indigo Angel. This is a lot. You have just unlocked and opened a lot for me, and I know for our listeners. So I know you have all the teachings. I know you have all the books. I know you have, you really are the door to more. And I'm wondering, well, if someone wants to work with you personally, where can they find you? Where can they go to get, I know you do one-on-one coaching too. Where can people find you?
Yeah, that would be on my website, IndigoAngel222.com. I do offer multiple types of sessions that you can get. I specialize in seal removal, but I do chakra clearings and just really any type of energy work, that's needed. I kind of can do an evaluation, a spiritual consultation, just get some insight as to where somebody's at, what's going on, what are their concerns, what are they wanting to do, and then I can make recommendations from there. I love working with people one-on-one. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me understanding what's going on with people in the collective. I do want it to be accessible. That's one thing that people said that they really liked about me, and that is that I am accessible. Like you can come and verify I'm a real person. You can come and verify my perspective and kind of get to know who I am, because some people will watch the content I put out and be like, who does she think she is saying all this stuff? Well, someone can come if that triggers them and they want to, project or whatever. Like I've had this happen. I've had people come and be like, hey, this triggered me. Like, I want to talk about this with you.
Cool.
So there's all kinds of things, of ways we can connect and communicate and bring things up for clarity. And I like being open. So my website, I also have an education platform, learn.IndigoAngel222.com. I have seal removal implant course and also 3 Gridwork facilitator courses on that platform. And then also my books as well.
Where can we get your books?
Also on the website. You can't get it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but my website is the best cost that I can offer to people. So
wow.
Best place to get it.
Thank you so much. Leading everyone back. You're probably on all platforms, right? IndigoAngel, and funnel you to her website. That's where you're going to get the most comprehension and comprehensive guidance through her website. So find her there. Thank you, IndigoAngel, for being here. What an amazing time with you today. I'm so blessed. Thank you for your medicine. Thank you for your spirituality. Thank you for being who you are and guiding us through this dense energies and this beautiful planet Earth that we get to live and thrive on. So thank you again for being here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. I love your energy as well. And anytime, I'd love to talk to you. So thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Are you feeling stuck, repeating the same patterns in your relationships, your career, or even within yourself? What if the root of it all isn't what you think? Introducing the Beyond Mindset Session with clinical hypnotherapist Tisha Marie Cain. With over 2,000 clients served, Tisha guides you through a powerful 90-minute breakthrough session designed to uncover the true source of what's holding you back, release limiting beliefs, rewire how you see yourself. Plus, you'll receive personalized integration support with follow-up sessions, a daily alignment plan, and a full recording to reinforce your transformation. Imagine feeling lighter, more confident, free from the cycles that once defined you. This is your opportunity to step into a new version of yourself. Appointments are available in person in California and Las Vegas, and anywhere virtually. The Beyond Mindset Session with Tisha Marie Cain. Schedule your session today at tishamariecain.com. Thank you for joining Tisha Marie Cain for Beyond Mindset Limits. Tune in every Wednesday at 4 p.m. as the conversation continues around mindset, legal insight, and publishing as a strategic tool for business positioning. Visit tishamariecain.com or cainslegalsupport.com for more information or to schedule your private appointment.